This is The Sit Down, and I'm here with Giuliana Rancic, who is returning to E! News this fall.
Yes.
Juliana, thank you so much for coming on, and we're so excited to see you back at E!
Thank you for having me, Stephanie.
So you left in 2015.
Yes.
To focus on your family.
Yes.
And now you're coming back. So why now?
Why now? It just felt like the right time. You know, I left a few years ago. It was actually 3 years ago last week that I left. And I went, you know, the reason I left was I wanted to move to Chicago. It was kind of a, deal my husband and I had. We always knew we were going to do that. That when our son was entering school, we would move to Chicago, where my husband's from, where we have restaurants. We have a lot of friends there and a home there. And so, yeah, it was incredible moving back to Chicago and really being able to be a mom and a wife. And but I didn't let go of work altogether. I was still doing red carpets for E! and specials for E! So that was great. And also I was able to build some other businesses that I had been working on that I really wanted to take to the next level, like our restaurants. My husband and I launched a Prosecco. I have a clothing line. So a few different things that I wanted to focus on. And so now coming back, it just felt like the right time. You know, I'd been doing more and more with E! This past year, and then the opportunity came to, came up to host E! News. And Jason Kennedy, who is the anchor of E! News, who has been for a while now, is a very, very dear friend. He's one of my absolute best friends. And so the opportunity to anchor with him, just couldn't resist that.
Obviously, we're all very excited to see you back, but I think we're even more excited to see you and Jason reunited. Yes. You guys have so many, you have such a great chemistry. You work so well together. So, why do you think you guys have such a special dynamic that really makes you an amazing hosting team together?
You know what I think it is? We are legitimately, truly best friends. Jason started at E! about 13 years ago. I've been there for about 16 years. I can't even believe I'm saying that. It's been a long time.
It's a long time.
I started very, very young. And we have been like family since the beginning. You know, Jason is very, very good friends with my husband. I'm really good friends with Jason's wife. So it's truly family. We consider them family, and we vacation together. We've literally been on probably 10 trips together. So I think that's a big part of it. Is it's a very, very authentic relationship. You know, we just know each other so well because we hang out together all the time.
And so you guys are doing the Emmys together, right?
We are doing the Emmys together next month. And so, yeah, we'll be there on the red carpet. And, E! is, when it comes to award shows, I mean, E's incredible. We're in 160 countries. So we have a lot of cameras on the red carpet because we know there are a lot of people tuning in from all over the world. And so it's been, it's so cool that we'll be doing that red carpet together. But we've done it for a few years now together, so it'll be fun.
As you said, you've been gone for 3 years, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting because the entertainment industry in Hollywood has really changed in those 3 years you've been gone.
Yeah.
Last year we had Kat Sadler. She said she's left at E! News because she discovered a huge pay gap between her and Jason. Do you think E! still has more work to do in addressing some of those issues? I
think that E! is, look, I can speak from my own experience with E! and I've been there a very long time, as I mentioned. E! has been an incredible place to work. I've been, I've had an incredible journey there, and I love it, and everyone I know who works there, we've talked about it, and we've all, just are very lucky to have great experience there. And I think that, in terms of the red carpet, what's nice about E! is people feel like they know the incredible platform we have and that we have so much reach. And I think that's what makes it so special, is that people can come to us on the red carpet and talk about not just their latest project, but also what's really important to them and the causes that are really important to them as well. And so I think we give, people a great platform to do that.
Even though you left 3 years ago, I think when I think E! News, I think Giuliana. And you are such a big part of E! and the brand. I would say you're probably the most recognized person from E! What has it been like when the network has been dealing with these issues to be kind of that face of the brand, and how do you deal with that burden on your shoulders?
Well, I think, the thing I can do is really speak from my experience. And obviously, you know, I mean, people see me on E and they see I have a huge smile on my face. And we have so much fun, you know, and I think that that's why people love talking to us and coming to us, is because we can have fun. And I think that's what viewers ultimately want to see as well. You know, they want to see that side of their favorite celebrity, and obviously, you know, hear about their projects and the work they're doing, but also that really, you know, great human side of them as well, and see that, hey, they have a sense of humor, or, you know, they're like me in so many ways. And so I think that that makes it a really special place, you know, and there's a reason I've been there for such a long time. I mean, there's a lot of places I could be, and it's truly a home to me, and I work with incredible people. I mean, a phenomenal team of, you know, very intelligent, very creative, very driven people who have built an incredible brand, you know, and so I'm very lucky to have been a part of that.
Last year, I think, was one of the first years that we really saw a lot of female celebrities speak out about the red carpet and say, hey, don't ask me about my dress, or do ask me about my dress. Like, you know, we all still love to talk about dresses, obviously, but also ask me about other issues. In the midst of the Harvey Weinstein Me Too stuff, how are you changing how you approach the red carpet in this era? And what are some things that you feel like you can do to make the red carpet a little different than it was in the past?
You know, I think, you know, as a journalist, when I prepare for the red carpets, I look at kind of, you know, of course, the climate and what's happening, and I welcome it. You know, I welcome the opportunity for people to come to me and not just talk about fashion or beauty, which, trust me, a lot of people love to talk about too, and a lot of viewers want to hear about too. But I think, you know, being a good reporter, you can do both, right? I mean, you can ask those questions, but you can also, you know, dig deeper when the time comes and when you need to, or when someone wants to talk about something deeper, you can make that transition. And I think that that's really important. It's part of being a good journalist. And the way I do it is I'm in the present. I'm always in the present on a red carpet. So it's funny because people have asked me in the past, like, they'll say, how do you prepare for a red carpet? You know, go over so many notes and so much research. And look, of course I do. You know, of course I'm prepared in terms of the projects and the material that I'm going to be talking to people about. But also I make sure that I'm not too prepared, because I want to be in the moment. So when you're talking to me about something that maybe I didn't know about, that I didn't know was going to come up, that's important to you, I'm in the moment. I'm not looking at my card, you know, thinking of the next question. Instead, I'm focused on you, and I'm listening to you, because the more I listen to you, the more they listen, you know. So I think it's really important to just be in the moment and allow people, you know, let people know that they have a place to talk and be heard, you know, because people all around the world are listening to them. So I think that, you know, I love what we do, and I love what we provide. And we make sure that people know that we are a place where they can come and talk about whatever they want, you know, and that's what happens. You never know what you're gonna get, you know.
You've had such a long career. Obviously, I'm in journalism as well, and in broadcasting. What's something that you've learned over the past years, and is there anything you've learned over the past couple of years that you're going to change about going forward, or what is like one thing you've learned?
Gosh, I mean, I've learned so much. But I think what's interesting, I mean, in terms of going back to E! News and really being able to watch from the outside, right? I mean, I was in it for so long, and then the past few years being able to observe as a viewer of the show and other entertainment news shows and just the entertainment industry in general, it's given me a really interesting perspective. I mean, as we all know, the landscape of TV and news, and how we gather news, how we put out news, has changed so much. How we consume news has changed so much. So I have a lot of ideas in terms of, you know, what I want to do when I go back to E! News. And, you know, we have great producers, and we've all been having, you know, pretty much daily phone calls and meetings to give people something fresh and new. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I've learned is you have to be agile. You know, when you can't be stagnant, you have to be able to change when you need to change. And I think we're at a time right now where we need to change the way that, you know, we deliver news. And we're certainly going to give people the best experience we can on e-news. I mean, that's really my goal, is if you see a headline earlier in the day on your Instagram, we want to kind of dive deeper into that, you know, and Jason and I have great relationships. You know, we're talking about how on the set we just want to, hey, if we need to clear something up, let's Skype someone or FaceTime someone. It doesn't have to be the most perfect quality, but no one cares about that anymore. You know, that's not the priority anymore. It's really about just the words, right? So we just want to kind of take things to a different place and try some new things that not a lot of people are trying right now. So I think being agile is very important right now.
Very much so. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Juliana, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
You back.
Thank you.
Juliana returns to E! News on September 4th. Up next, more AMCDM.